What is going on, Patriots Nation? This is Jace back with another mock draft Monday. Today, opened it up to a 4-round mock draft, which I did last week. So getting one extra pick in there, one more guy to talk about. Probably not the most popular one this week. Again, if you guys have not watched the previous 4 mock drafts, I've taken Jaden Daniels, I've taken Bo Nix, I've taken Michael Penix, I've taken Drake May. So if you guys don't necessarily agree with this mock draft, go watch the other ones that I've done. I'm just here to talk about other prospects. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on this mock draft and maybe players that you'd like me to target in my next mock draft. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Thank you to our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. With Underdog, you have a chance to 20 times your money in a single night. You just have to choose higher or lower for whatever player stats you want, and you have a chance to win big. Pick anywhere from 2 to 5 players by downloading their app or going to UnderdogFantasy.com. And now with their pick-up insurance, you don't even have to hit on all your picks to win the money. So what are you waiting for? Make sure you use code PATCHDRIVE today for your first deposit matched up to $100. Okay, so let's jump right into this mock draft. Again, guys, I said some people are going to like this mock draft because of the position I'm taking at the 3rd overall pick. Some people are not going to like it. I will address most of the main positions that the Patriots need, in my opinion, in this mock draft, though. It just probably won't be the way Patriots fans want it to be. So just hang tight with me. I'm just talking about scenarios, talking about players. This is not my favorite mock draft. Again, I will talk about it. This is not my favorite one. That's why I'm here to preface this. So make sure you guys understand that and just follow along with me. Listen to the prospects. Listen to guys that could be other options for the Patriots. The 1st overall pick, I have the Patriots taking what probably is one of the biggest positions of need other than quarterback, in my opinion, and that's the left tackle. Right now, there is no sign of a franchise left tackle on the Patriots roster right now. Trent Brown is probably gone, most likely because of how he's played, his injury history, and stuff that's been said through the media and what he's been saying too. So I have the Patriots taking who I have as the best offensive tackle. Now, I have him 4th on my big board and then Olu Fashanu 5th. So they're really close. The reason I give Joel Alt the edge is because of how good of a run and pass blocker he is. Joel Alt was the highest graded offensive tackle at a 90.7, according to PFF. He had an 86.5 run blocking grade, which was 3rd. He was also 3rd in pass blocking grade at 91.2. So this is a guy that run blocks and pass blocks very effectively. He's 6'8", 315 pounds, ideal length, going to be a franchise left tackle body-wise. You're not going to have to worry about that. And this guy has incredible size and athleticism. This guy was a basketball player. His dad was a 1st-round draft pick in the 1984 draft by the Chiefs. He has that pedigree. And this guy's been playing who arguably is one of the best universities at putting out offensive linemen in the NFL at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is mostly a zone blocking scheme team, which I think a lot of Patriots fans are going to want the Patriots to bring in that Kyle Shanahan style offense, depending on who's going to be the OC. So he's going to fit that scheme. He's going to be very used to that. And he's really good. So he's played 2,178 snaps at left tackle in the past 3 years. Again, a guy that's been an iron horse, not been too injured, has had the opportunity to play a ton of snaps in college football for a really good team. He was a first-team All-American, according to the AP last year. He only allowed 4 sacks in his career and 5 pressures last year. So a guy very experienced, comes in, hasn't played anything else other than left tackle, which, obviously you want some position versatility, but the biggest spot, in my opinion, on the Patriots offensive line is the left tackle spot. Michael Winter can play right tackle. Sidney Sal was a decent right guard. I think he can develop. You're going to have David Andrews and then Cole Strange or someone else at left guard and center. You need a franchise left tackle, especially to protect whoever is going to be throwing the ball. Now, that's what's hard. Ideally, you'd want to get a franchise left tackle for a guy like Jaden Daniels or a guy like Caleb Williams or Drake May. That's going to be very hard to do in a mock draft or in a draft because of where the Patriots are picking. They're not going to be able to trade back up in the range to get one of those guys again. So right now they're prioritizing, hey, let's take a left tackle, build from the inside, and then we'll figure out the quarterback situation. That's how I view that. Again, Joel Alt, my number 1 offensive tackle, 4th on my big board, Olu Fashanu,
is my second offensive tackle. Now, again, this guy run and pass block incredibly, best of the class. Olu might be a little bit more athletic and have a higher upside, but Joe Alt is as ready as they come, and he's going to be a dog come week one, be a instant starter, immediate impact guy, and maybe one of the best kind of offensive tackles up and coming, kind of like what you're seeing Penei Sewell in Detroit doing for them. They built from the inside, figured out the offensive line, built that there, and now they're in the NFC Championship game. So love the idea of picking up Olu Fashanu. It's just there's a ton of other positions of need. And when you take a tackle right here, you're prioritizing building from the offense, and then you're going to have to take secondary skill positions. Right here, I have the Patriots taking who I believe would be a primary skill position. And again, this is PFF mock draft simulator, so this is not likely that he's going to be available in the second round, in my opinion. Brian Thomas Jr. is currently my fifth wide receiver on the big board, and I think that there is going to be an opportunity for six wide receivers to go in the first round. Brian Thomas Jr., a true X wide receiver, a guy that's on the outside most of the time, 6'4", 205 pounds. He was an 1,100-yard receiver this year, 17 receiving touchdowns. That's the most in college football. Now, a lot of people were like, dang, Jaden Daniels threw a dang good deep ball this year. Well, that's because Brian Thomas was the best deep threat in the class, or in the country. 670 yards came on targets 20-plus yards down the field. That's over half of his receiving yards, 17.3 yards per reception. This guy is a true vertical threat. So, you're going to have the ability to get a guy that really can stretch the field. Now, my worry is we've had that, and we've drafted that with Tyquan Thornton a couple of years ago, right? And he kind of has the same things. He's a bigger frame and a bigger body than Tyquan Thornton, tracks the deep ball really well, has good length, so he has a good catch radius, struggles to get off press man consistently, and he doesn't run the entire route tree. Again, a true deep threat, and he's damn good at it. But how long can you make it in the NFL as a true deep threat? I don't know. That's the question. So this guy would be fun for the Patriots. He'd be able to come in and blow the top off of defenses for whoever throwing the ball to him. But there's still some inconsistencies there. Maybe that's why he falls to the second. I still think someone's going to take a chance on him. Like if I'm sitting there and I'm Kansas City, or say I'm Buffalo or someone in the back half of the first, I'd take a chance on a guy like Brian Thomas that can take the top off of a defense. You already have guys that can work the middle of the field like Stephon Diggs. I would take a chance on Brian Thomas. That's probably why I don't think that he's going to make it to the second. But if he did, he'd be one of those guys that I think is next in line, not Malik Neighbors, not Marvin Harrison Jr. or Rome Odunze, but he's one of those other guys in college football that made a name for himself and has the opportunity to make a lot of money in the NFL just because of what he can do in the deep game. That'll remain to see what he can do. We'll see how he tests. If he runs under a 4.4 at that size, he'll be for sure a first-round lock. I think he's going to be mid 4.4s, so I think he's going to be 4.45, 4.48, somewhere in that range. If he gets a 4.39 or something, yeah, no chance that the Patriots are going to touch this guy in the second round. So watch for his testing numbers, see how he does in the NFL Combine. Moving on to the most important position, in my opinion, and one that a lot of Patriots fans want me to address. Now, I will just preface this by saying I'm not a fan of this guy, okay? I'm not a J.J. McCarthy fan, not because I think he's a bad player. I don't think he's a pro-ready quarterback yet, okay? This guy was kind of carried by Michigan, carried by their offensive line and their great running game. Michigan only averaged 213 passing yards per game. That was like 85th in all of college football. He didn't even have 3,000 yards. He only had 22 passing touchdowns, 20 big-time throws. That's only 26th in college football. And 9.4 average depth of target was 42nd among quarterbacks. So a guy that relied a lot on the run game. He's a national championship winning quarterback, and he's going to be what Jim Harbaugh said, the best quarterback in Michigan history. I think Patriots fans are going to say, yeah, hell no, he wasn't. I wouldn't take him above the third. Maybe he sneaks into the second round for me because he does have a lot of athletic ability. He does have a high upside. He's pretty young. I didn't think he'd declare this year. I guess once he won the national championship and, his draft stock's probably never going to be higher. I'm hearing that like maybe the Broncos or someone would take a chance on this in the first round. I would never. I personally wouldn't. He's my sixth quarterback on the board. If the Patriots could get him in the third, it would probably be a pretty dang good deal, and you could steal him like I had here. But again, he doesn't throw the ball in the middle of the field very well. He was a very reliant on the run game, great offensive line, play action pass. He's really good at, right? Because that run game was so good that he was able to get some wide open crossers and stuff, which is very good. But again, Do the Patriots have a great run game? No. Do they? This guy is probably a very situational quarterback, in my opinion. He's going to have to go to a really good team, and they're probably going to have to develop him a little bit more. And I don't know if that's what Patriots fans are looking for. Athletically, he's very surprising. He's very intriguing, and he's very poised. Like this guy, you see the meditation he does before games. He's a good leader. Led Michigan to their first national championship, and he had to do it in a way against Alabama in the Rose Bowl, go down, tie it, force overtime, and then they're able to have do those things. So a little smaller. He's not so like he's 6'3", so he's tall, but he's only 200 pounds, a little bit lighter frame. I just don't think he can consistently drop back and beat teams in the NFL, right? Like he's going to have to rely on a ton of play action passes. In my opinion, this guy, if you put him in the right system, is going to be what Brock Purdy is in the NFL. Very, very good for the San Francisco 49ers on a great team. But if you put Brock Purdy on the Patriots, I don't know how good he looks. And Brock Purdy hasn't looked that great in, situations where he's just had to drop straight back consistently. But this is kind of how I view J.J. McCarthy in the NFL as of right now. I just don't think consistently he's going to be the guy the Patriots are going to want. And us Patriots fans are going to say he's going to be able to drop back 30 times a game and throw it down to Pop Douglas or something. That's not how I see his game as of right now. That's why I have him as a third-round quarterback. So, and not the strongest of arm. He doesn't really throw it great outside the numbers. Again, really good at play action, running crossing routes and stuff like that. And he does have pretty good velocity on it when he wants to, when he needs to. But a little bit kind of, I don't want to say he has a low IQ because I think that's unfair because I'm not in the meeting rooms and I don't know that. And he's a college football national championship winning quarterback, but it's been very easy for him in college football. RPOs, quick game, play action stuff, one reads. So there's a little bit of concerns there about maybe his processing skills. And then again, Michigan just kind of dominated everyone this year and that they wanted to run the ball, 40 times a game, and they are damn good at it. So you can't really take that away from him. But that's how I view J.J. McCarthy. And that's why right now I wouldn't take him above the third round. So he could prove me wrong, see how the pre-draft process goes and stuff like that. But hearing he could be a first-round pick is kind of a little crazy to me. Last pick of the draft, all offense, guys. Some people might be saying, oh, another running back. Well, the only reason I'm doing this is because of how good of a pass catcher Bucky Irving was out of the University of Oregon. He had 395 receiving yards. That's the sixth most by a running back this year. 55 receptions was the most by a running back in college football this year. No matter what the Patriots do with Ezekiel Elliott, Ramondre will be there. We'll see what happens with Zeke. I would like to bring him back, but I don't know if there's a true pass catching back. Okay, this guy can come in. He's also almost a 1,200-yard rusher. He rushed for 1,192 yards last year, 6.4 yards per attempt. That was third in college football, and he forced 69 missed tackles, ninth in college football. Elusive, smaller back, 5'11", 195, can run the ball, is very good in the passing game. Again, no matter who you have at quarterback, in this scenario, J.J. McCarthy, this is a guy that's going to be open pretty often and pretty early in the progression. So he's going to be able to dump it off to him, right? Let's say, oh, hey, here's our read number one, number two. Let's get Bucky Irving on a linebacker as our check down. And, he's going to either make someone miss or he's probably going to get a pretty good gain out of that because he's a good route runner. So more of a pass catching style back, just because I don't feel like the Patriots have that. Even if you say Zeke doesn't come back and we have Kevin Harris, I don't think Patriots fans view him, and I certainly don't, as a pass catching threat. So yeah, you can have Ramondre Stevenson, Kevin Harris, or Ezekiel Elliott, whoever you decide, as your, kind of workhorse backs. But if you need a third down guy that the Patriots usually had with James White or someone like that and haven't really had in the last couple of years, I think Bucky Irving fits this role right here. So I like him. I think he was really good at Oregon. Again, not just a pass catcher, right? Like this guy it's not like he can't run the ball. He can run. Like this guy was a 11-yard or a 1,000-yard rusher 2 years in a row at Oregon. He's probably going to run in the 4.4s, so decent speed, not the best. He's going to be able to create on his own, a little bit smaller, but he's going to be elusive. So a runner, a pass catcher, something like that, focus mainly on the offense in this mock draft, which is kind of crazy because we all know that with Bill, the Patriots would at least take probably one, maybe two defensive guys. We'll see how Gerard Mayo goes. We'll see what the offensive coordinator wants to do and who the GM is if they hire one. But this was kind of an offensive-minded one where the first 3 rounds we get the 3 biggest needs, in my opinion, maybe not in the order or the players you guys would have liked to have seen. So again, let me know down below who you would have liked to have seen. And if you haven't already seen the one where I took Jaden Daniels or I took Drake May, go back a couple of weeks in the videos. I have those on the channel, so you guys can go watch what I did there. And throughout the whole draft process, when I do mock draft Mondays, I'll get back to taking Jaden Daniels again and pair him with different players. Trust me, I'm not never going to take Jaden Daniels again. But right now, just trying to get different scenarios, trying to get different players to talk about. So not my favorite mock draft I did. I will say, again, I love Joe Alt. He would be a home run pick. I just feel like we have so many other needs. I don't think it's a bad idea to build from within. It's just you're still going to have that quarterback question. And depending on who you take in the second, maybe a Bo Nix falls, then you could fix it there. Or then you have a receiver problem unless you go sign T. Higgins or trade for him or something. So lots of possibilities here. Wanted to do one drafting a tackle in the first round. Let me know down below what you think, what you'd grade this draft, who you want to see for Mock Draft Monday, episode 6 next week, different positions. And again, I'm going to start implementing trades here shortly. So I will have a Caleb Williams one coming out, possibly a Justin Fields one. I know a lot of Patriots fans are asking about a Justin Fields trade. So I will talk about a mock draft where I do have a trade for Justin Fields. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment below. We're going to have a live stream coming shortly about the offensive coordinator candidates for the Patriots. So make sure you have the notification bell turned on and use our code at Underdog Fantasy so you guys can support the channel. And we appreciate all you guys' support. Hope to see you in the live stream so we can chat with you guys sometimes. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.